looks like everyone is here. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to our special event, Maximizing Efficiency with Enhanced Fixed Line Simulator. My name is Alech, and I'm glad to be your guide during our event. We have an excited agenda, line it up, and design it to show you latest capabilities of the Fixed Line Simulator. In case this product is completely new for you, we have intro video on YouTube. The link is here. So the link will be shared with you later. You can watch it. But for now, we have agenda that relates for people who is experienced with Fixed Line Simulator. We will have just short intro to refresh your knowledge, but overall, we'll discuss on the latest updates. Firstly, again, we will start with introduction, where we briefly revisit the fundamentals that makes our tool essential for your trading systems. Next, we will dive into test scenario management. This session will guide you on organizing and executing test scenarios effectively. Next, our focus will shift to advanced message handling. Here, you will learn strategies for processing complex messages. We also explore the user interface and usability enhancements that have been made to Fixed Line Simulator. In this segment on platform and operating system support, we will discuss the latest capability and optimization updates, ensuring that simulator works fine across different environments. Finally, we will conclude with a summary of the key takeaways and dive into the future development, how we see Fixed Line Simulator in the future. And of course, the Q&A session. Also, my pleasure to introduce the experts who will share the improvements and experience with us today at our event. Oleg Vasilyev, it's me. I will open and close the session, our event. My role is development manager. I'm responsible for Fixed Line Simulator deliveries, and Taras is our QA team lead, person who uses Fixed Line Simulator from the first versions, most experienced at QA in B2BITS, and main user of Fixed Line Simulator. As a result, Taras is our presenter today. Taras will show you the improvements, and also Taras will share personal experience of using Fixed Line Simulator. Just for information, if you have any questions, you can ask them during the event. All what you need to do is just to click on the Q&A tab and write the question. It's simple. At the end, I will read all the question, I promise, and I and Taras, we will try to answer all the questions. In addition, in the email, you can find the survey link. It's here. And once you click on it, you can find the form. This is the form. It will take only a few minutes, but your feedback will have a long-lasting impact on the development of B2BITS Fixed Line Simulator. So please do it, because I want to be honest with you. At B2BITS EPAM, we pride ourselves on being a company that truly listens our clients, and we are always open for improvements. So don't miss your chance to provide the input. Okay. Let's start. Main part of the event is coming. Taras, you're welcome. Please share your screen.
Hello, everyone. I will share my screen and start with a short introduction of our product. So, Fixed Client Simulator, or simply FCS, is a rich desktop application which allows to simulate multiple fixed protocol-defined workflows and empowers users to create and run repeatable test scenarios for fixed sessions. FCS combines the ability to enter, generate, and edit raw fixed messages via predefined forms. Moreover, it offers an approach to assemble and replay fixed messages, handle sequence numbers, and identities automatically. It covers the entire spectrum of fixed protocol versions, supports custom fixed protocol extensions, and quick fix formatted dictionaries. FCS is one of the oldest B2BITS EPAM products. It is all started with a simple application, which allowed to establish non-secure fixed connections and send receive fixed messages. Then responding to market changes and requirements, we gradually improved it. Number of fixed session configurable parameters was increased. TLS support up to version 1.3 has been added, etc. Some ideas for improvements and new features came from our customers to meet their needs. It's funny, but many customers became interested in the simulator during demonstration of other products. We showed them fixed edge or fixed antenna while using the simulator, and after the demo, they came back to us for this simulator. FCS can be used in following use cases: OMS functional and stress testing. So different message flows can be tested in normal conditions and under high load. Fixed session automated testing to automate flows and run them with a couple of clicks. It's also fixed protocol implementations, so it allows to test any protocol customization, any changes in venues specifications before pushing it to production environments. And of course, error reproducing. It can replay day log and makes possible to catch out message that causes the issue. Now let's move to the next part of our event and talk about the recent feature of FCS test scenarios. FCS provides the possibility to ease the daily routine of going through the same scenarios. All that needs to be done is to create the necessary script manually or in recording mode and then run it as many times as you want in 2 clicks. To demonstrate scenarios creation and run, I will use 2 copies of FCS. On first copy, I go to Test Scenarios tab, and as you can see, there are some sample scenarios. Right-click on one of them, and you can see that we can change the name of scenario, we can remove the scenario, and we can edit it. Here you can see actions that can be performed on scenario start. In this scenario sample, on start part contains only fixed session creation. And on receiving some message. In this scenario, in response to new order single 35 equal D, FCS will send execution report in response. So the test scenario session list is empty, so scenario will use session defined in on start section. Okay, let's save the scenario and run it. Acceptor session is started and waits for incoming logon. Now let's see what second scenario will do. I will open it on second copy of FCS. It will establish connection to FCS1, send new order single message, and will wait for execution report in response. Let's close it and also run. It connects initiator session, it's established, and sends logon message, order message. And once new order single is received by FCS1, it sends execution report in response. And scenario is finished and as the green status. Science session is not disconnected, so you can click on Run button again and again, and scenario will be executed again as many times as you want. Now let's create a new scenario manually. I click on Create Test Scenario button and add some steps. First, on scenario start, I want to receive some message. So I click on Expect button and fill tag value pairs, which I want to see in incoming message. Let it be quote request, so 35 equal R, with quote request ID 131 equal to AAA. As you can see from the tip below, I can set even some repeating group in this message. So in quote request, we have no related symbols repeating group. So I will specify symbol equal to Microsoft. Repeating group counter, entry number 1, tag 55, and value is Microsoft. Click on OK button, and we have our first step created. Now I want to send some message in response. Of course, it will be quote. So I click on Send button and paste some quote message. Below you can see instruction how to refer to text from received messages and how to generate some values for text. So in my message, quote ID is generated. Tag 55 is taken from quote request, which I will receive from FCS number 2, and transact time is also generated. Then I can add breakpoint step to stop scenario at this point, and then add one more quote message. Then I need to specify some scenario name, and scenario will be stored into the test scenarios folder with this name in text format. So I save it, and you can see it appear here. Now let's create some session from Fixed Client Simulator 1 to FCS 2 and run my scenario. So currently it expects quote request from Fixed Client Simulator 2. So I will send it. With symbol Microsoft. And quote from FCS1 was sent according to test script. And you can see that text 117, 55 is taken from original quote request, and transaction time is also generated. My test stopped because of breakpoint instruction, so I need to click on Continue button, and the second quote was received. Test is passed and highlighted green. Now let's repeat this scenario, but this time I will send quote request with some unexpected symbol. I will change it to IBM. And when I send it, you can see the test is stopped. It has red highlight, so the test is failed. And in details column, you can see the reason why the test was failed. Now I will open my scenario for edit and choose existing session from test scenario session list. And you can see it appeared as the first step is in scenario. So when scenario will start again, session will be established automatically. I close this session in both simulators. Then I run my scenario, and you can see that session is established and waiting for the code request. Now let's stop the scenario and add expect then send action into the onMessage section. As you can see, this action has set of parameters, and first of parameter is send response with probability. You can specify with which probability response message will be sent. So let's set it to 30%. Then you can specify delay between messages sending, and by now let's leave it as immediately. And with balance quantities checkbox turned on, scenario will generate last quantity, count quantity, and leaves quantity for execution reports in order flows. So as expect, I will specify new order single message. And in then send section, I will add execution report acknowledgement, couple of partial fields, and complete field. Here is an acknowledgement. First partial field, second partial field, and complete field. Click OK and save scenario. Now I start scenario again. Send code request from my second copy of FCS. Sorry, I forgot to change to Microsoft. Okay. Quote received, click continue, second quote received. And now I will send new order single message. And after few attempts, because response probability is only 30%, yes, scenario sent me execution reports where partial fields and complete field contain some random values in lost quantity tag, number 32. You can see it 31, 51, and the last is 118. And also correctly calculated count quantity and leaves quantity tags, tag number 151 and 14. Now let's edit scenario one more time. I open expect and send step and change delay between message sent. So I will set some interval between 3 and 10 seconds. And also I change probability to 100% to make sure message is just delayed. Let me clear the event viewer here. Run the scenario. Once again, I need to send the auth request message. Continue, and now new order single message. Now you see that execution reports doesn't appear immediately, and they will send with some delay. Second partial fill and complete fill. So this was the first way of how to create the test scenario with manual adding of the steps. And now let me show you how to record this scenario. I have fixed session established, so I just click on record scenario button. Then I specify scenario name and choose session which I want to use for recording. Sorry, let me start again. I want to record the incoming messages, so I choose this checkbox. And I also choose save session parameters, so for scenario run, there will be no need to create fixed session manually. I click OK, and recording is started. So I send quote request from Fixed Client Simulator 1, and from Fixed Client Simulator 2, I send let it be new order single in response. And then I stop the scenario recording. Now I go to test scenarios tab. I can close my sessions because it will be created automatically. And I run my recorded scenario. So it sends the quote request message, and from Fixed Client Simulator 2, I will send new order single. So scenario is passed and highlighted green. The next new feature we want you to show today is not actually a feature, but rather extension tool. We called it Fixed Client Simulator Console. It's a small command line tool that can be run on Windows, Linux. It can be integrated into CI environment. And currently, it has inherited only one function of FCS. It can play the test scenarios. So any scenario that you have created in FCS UI is stored into text file and can be replayed by this tool. If you run it without parameters, let me open command line. Or with help command, it will show a list of possible commands and options. So basically, to run test scenario, you just need to use run scenario command, specify path to file with scenario, and press enter. So let me run some scenario which will connect to FCS UI, send some message, and receive message in response. So session is established. It sent me the market data request message. And now console expects market data snapshot in response with some certain values in tags. I will send what it wants. And scenario is finished and it has status passed. Now I will run the same scenario again, and this time I will change value in tag. So it expects 101 and I will send 102. Scenario has failed, and description of reason is also shown on the console. Now let me show options that can be used during the scenario run. And first option is timeout. It is used when we need to limit the time of scenario run. For example, if counterparty didn't respond for 5 seconds, scenario will be stopped. Let me demonstrate this. I will run previous scenario with timeout option. And this time I will not send any response from FCS UI. So scenario is cancelled because of timeout. Next option is max sent message count. It can be used when we need to limit number of messages sent. For example, when we have expect and send action in scenario, it will send response each time expected message is received. To limit this, we can use max send message count option. So let me run script with expect and send instruction and limit number of sent messages. I will limit it to 5. So this scenario expects new order single from me. I send it and execution report number 1 is received. I repeat this step 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And scenario canceled because 5 messages were sent. And the last option is the same as in FCS UI. It is after increment option. So you can specify which tags you want to increment. I will run scenario which will send 10 messages. And tag 262 will be auto-incremented. So you see that the value of tag 262 is ID2, ID3, and so on till ID11. Another feature that was implemented recently is auto-generating of request and response messages in order flow. So let me go back to my 2 copies of Fixed Client Simulator. And previously, user had to send all messages manually. Paste message into the field, edit some text, and send. For orders, cancels, replace requests, and execution reports in response. With auto-generating function, this process was greatly simplified. With right-click on message, you can choose which response you want to send. Now let me establish a session between 2 clients. And send some order single message. When order appeared in events viewer of FCS2, I can right click on it and see what options it can offer to me. So exec report new will generate and paste execution report acknowledgement message. Let me clean this field. Exec report new. And all tag values taken from original order, like site, quantity, price. And some tags like order ID, tag number 37, exec ID, tag number 17, and transact time. So these tags are generated, so message is ready to be sent. I also can send a partial fill execution report, but since FCS doesn't know which price and quantities you want to use, so tags like last price, last quantity, average price, and so on, you need to fill manually. So last quantity 50, last price 1.99, leaves quantity 50, count quantity also 50, and average price. And of course, you can choose the exec report field message to be generated. In this case, all quantities filled are filled automatically, like last quantity is equal to match the complete fill of the order, and you just need to fill the last price and average price. And of course, the status of the order tags 150 and 39 are also filled correctly, like it was for the complete trade. From order sender perspective, in the Fixed Client Simulator 1, I also can click on the order message and choose some option. For example, send cancel request. It will have a new client order ID value, and in original client order ID, it will have value from the original order. Once again, right click and I can generate cancel replace message. Also, tag number 11 is generated, tag 41 is taken from the original order, and I just need to change information that I want to replace. And the third option is to send order status message. It will generate H message to request status of order we specified in tag client order ID. So it can greatly simplify the process of sending orders and send responses. Now let's talk about some UI improvements. In older versions of FCS, all messages were displayed together in Events Viewer. So on a large amount of logs, it was hard to find some specific message. Now at the bottom of the screen, you can see that it's possible to keep only session level messages like logon, or only application level messages like orders, execution reports. You can also split the window to see incoming and outgoing messages separately, and also some application messages. And also you can filter message by some search string. It can be a tag value pair or some part of text. So for example, by the tag, or I can copy some text or just enter the established. Also, previously, all records from this events viewer were kept only in memory, so after FCS close, they were lost. Now it's possible to keep them between FCS restarts. Just go to Events Viewer menu and choose Keep Logs. Now I will restart Fixed Client Simulator. After restart, you see that all application messages from previous run are loaded. Fixed messages from previous run are not loaded because they are associated with some session, which is not established and displayed only when session is selected. But you can find these messages in Events Viewer logs file. So you can see all these fixed messages here. And also when you create required session, and click on it, you also see all these messages from this session. Next UI improvement is copying messages from Events Viewer. Previously, you had to select all message manually, which is not convenient when there are many large messages in Viewer. So now you can right-click on any place in message, click on Copy Message, and the whole message will be copied. I can paste it here. And you still can select and copy only part of the message. Let's move to the next feature. In older versions of FCS, all started copies of simulator shared common configuration file with sessions, and it was stored in users app data folder. You can see this user config file here with configurations for all sessions. Now in FCS config file, you can configure if you want to keep user config file inside FCS folder. So just set this property to true, save, and restart FCS. You can see that user config file was created in this home folder. There are no sessions and also no sessions in FCS list. I will create some session. So now it appears in file. And after FCS restart, I can see only this one session. Other copies of FCS where we didn't change this property to true, they still use the shared configuration with all sessions. So I will restart my FCS number 2. And you can see that it contains some list of sessions from the main configuration file. Next feature is the possibility to customize the window title of Fixed Line Simulator. So now you can see that both my copies have same Windows title. I will close them, and in the same FCS execconfig file, I can set the window title. Let it be first FCS window, and in configuration for the second copy, I will set it to second FCS window. Now I start both copies. So you can see that Windows titles are different, and in taskbar I can easily distinguish them. Okay, let me establish session. From send message window, now it's possible to send only some specific selected message. For example, if I load file with several messages, I can click on some message and send only this message with send current button. Focus automatically goes to the next message and you can send it the same way. You can also select the several messages and then click send selected. In this case, only completely selected message, which is between tags 8 and 10, will be sent. So let me select one complete message and two messages selected partially. So from these three messages, only one message will be sent. You can see this message was sent. All these grayed out messages that was sent from fixed client simulator can be reset with the reset button. And after increment, text feature also has been improved. Now it's possible to specify some starting value. So if I set value tag to IBM and send these 10 messages, so first message will be sent with IBM and then 9 messages with incremented value. So first IBM and then IBM 1, IBM 2 until IBM 9. It is also possible to reset increment. I need to change just something is auto increment text field. For example, add new text, change the starting value, or remove and then add this again. For example, I will add new tag 11 equal to send this message again. And you can see that auto increment for tag number 55 was reset to IBM. And again, all messages were sent with tags auto increment. Replay feature also has one improvement, and now it's possible to replay quick fix logs. It can be useful if your counterparty uses quick fix based engine, so they can send you their outgoing log and you can replay it to reproduce issue. Here is an example of quick fix log. You see that all messages are logged in one long line. So now FCS can replay such format of logs. Just go on replay tab, load file, and push play. I will clear events viewer. Now let's talk about improved compatibility of fixed client simulator. Because for a long time, FCS was designed to run only on Windows. But as security requirements grew, more and more customers began to prefer Linux. So in response to such demand, FCS was modified to run on Linux systems like Ubuntu or Rocky Linux. It uses Wine as compatibility layer, and once Wine is installed, you can run FCS on Linux just like you do this on Windows. All instructions how to install and configure Wine we have in our KB, so you can find how to do this. I have a Ubuntu Mint on my VirtualBox. So I just copy folder with fixed client simulator to this machine. I run executable file, just like I do this on Windows. and it's open just like you open it on Windows systems. I can create session. And load some message. And send it. I want to notice that Wine is required only to run FCS UI on Linux systems. To run Fixed Client Simulator console, you don't need any additional software to be installed because we have separate packages for Windows and for Linux systems. Now I will give the floor to Oleg to talk about our plans for the future.
Yes, thank you. Um, okay, a quick question. Do you see my screen? Yeah, am I right? Taras?
Yes, yes, I can
Okay,
see.
perfect. Yeah, thank you, Taras. So let's talk about conclusion and future direction. In near future, we are going to create a new release. So we don't forget about Fixed Line Simulator. We don't stay on the same place at the same place. The release will include a lot of UI improvements, like ability to open fixed message in details view from event viewer, session info on several lines, ability to add and remove text from message details window, copy paste the message in human readable text, and default values in the message detail window. All these improvements are for Fixed Line Simulator UI version desktop. And also, we don't forget about Fixed Line Simulator console. We have really big plans on it, and near future we will add ability to add a log reply functionality. So it will be the same as with Fixed Line Simulator desktop UI version. So we just copy paste, no differences. Um, okay, let me summarize overall. I would like to highlight that we constantly develop and improve our product, ensuring it meets the evolving needs of our clients. So your feedback is essential for us. So kindly remind you about the survey. This survey. So the link is here. Just click. It will take just a few minutes. And that's all for today. Thank you for your time. In case any questions or additional information, please contact our sales team. The email is here. Maybe you would like to request some more information or custom demo. Feel free. We are open for it. Now let's talk about questions if we have them. Okay, let me open it up. And we have one question about recording. Yes, we have recorded the session, so it will be sent by email as soon as possible. No worries. You can share this link with your colleagues and discuss it internally. Maybe we have more questions. Again, just click on the Q&A tab and text the question. We will read and try to answer. Let's give 1 minute for people. Again, just kindly remind you, it's okay if you don't have questions right now. You can visit our site, request demo, or again, contact our sales team. It's here, sales b2bits.com. Okay, I don't see any questions. Again, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye.